One of the things that, oh, hold on, we are live. One sec, guys. Okay, we're good. Hey, guys, welcome to Conscious Conversations. We're doing something really special tonight, and I got some awesome guests. Tanyana from our first episode, and her husband, Tim. Say hi, guys. So, we're going to break down a connection chart. And what a connection chart really does is show how our energies work together, either in harmony or in conflict. So, let's jump right into it. So, Tim, you're a pure manifesting generator. You're someone that likes to take immediate action. You have a thought, you have the energy to follow through with it in the moment. Tanyana is a pure generator. She has the feeling, she needs to set with it for a while before she can really have the clarity of thought to know what the appropriate action is. The energy, especially being male or masculine energy is all about, come on, let's go, team, let's go, team. The feminine energy is about, hey, let's think this through. I don't feel safe. And in order for me to have the action to go through with it, I need to feel safe before I can be on board with it. And doing that, instead of feeling like it's going to be dragging her, like, come on, we got to go do this. I know it's the right thing, regardless of whether, that doesn't really matter. It's, hey, take 5 minutes. Do you feel safe? Like, is there anything you need to talk about? And that's going to make Tanyana feel safe, seen, and heard, which is going to open her up. So, yeah, I'm open to the idea. Let's go do this. Go team. And on the flip side of that, Tanyana, recognize where you might sometimes say, hey, I might be a little bit stubborn, but I'm open to this idea, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because immediately, without any of this human design, the energy between you two rocks. You guys mesh really, like your auras together are one. Instead of two separates, it's one aura, which is really cool to me. And the fact that it tells me that he really loves you, you really love him, which is super cool. Guys, keep heading that way. I love you. Everybody, hi. Sorry, my kids. Sorry, guys, my kids just got in. Hit that way. Love you. Dinner will be done in a little bit. So, with Tim, with your strategy to respond, dude, you got all kinds of power, like pure raw energy. So when that idea comes in, you're like, oh, this is a great idea. It lights you up. It fills you up. You're like, yeah, let's go for it. In that essence, one of the things that you can do is say, hey, here's this idea. I feel really energized. And Tanyana, being as intuitive as she is, she's going to be able to tell. And so can you, whether you really admit it or not. But anyway, doing that is going to give her the moment or create the opportunity, the space for her to say, hey, I may be feeling something a little way. Do you mind if we have a quick chat about it? And that is going to make the energy more harmonious in anything that you guys do. And it doesn't matter whether it's, this big or this big, which is super cool. And the external clues that you look for. So as a man, I look for the external clues too, especially when I'm around my partner or anyone. Those external clues can sometimes be overwhelming, or we might misinterpret them a little bit. And in that sense, it's perfectly the best solution to the chart or for this energetics is to simply ask. And that gives Tanyana an opportunity to respond. So that's what she needs when she can respond from her gut. She's like, oh, yes, here's an opportunity for me to respond to. And that lights her up and opens the pathway for a deeper conversation. How do you guys feel about surrender?
I don't know. You tell me.
Your guys' channel, the main channel. So when we look at our channels in our human design chart, anything that's called a hanging channel that doesn't make a complete circuit, we look for connections in our external world to make that circuit complete. You both have the channel of surrender in your chart. So, and I have that channel too, and I get it. Sometimes I can be so stubborn, like, nope, I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, oh shit, yeah, I'm going to do it because that's the only way for me to allow the energy to move. So in that, anytime there's any conflict or anything, and it's all about I surrender to this experience. I surrender the fact that we created this experience and need to talk. And that right there will open up so much energy for you both to feel seen, heard, and valued. Super awesome.
Thank you for that.
And Tim, you have the channel of charisma. What that means is your energy can be very intense, especially when you're lit up about something. When you feel very powerful, or when you feel it, your energy can be like, "Rah!" And Tanyana, that can hinder her process because it can feel overwhelming to where she might not feel that she can bring hers up to share in that energy. So the strategy to help resolve like that is, once you've become aware of that, is simply ask. So Tanyana, for Tim, ask him questions and then respect or respond his immediate answer, even if it's not one you want to hear. And Tim, for you, is give Tanyana something to respond to, instead of saying, "Hey, this is what's going to happen," or "What this is how I feel about it. What do you feel like, or how do you feel about it?" And that those two things right there, you guys will never have a moment tension other than a few moments. There's nothing that needs to be drawn out and all that bullshit, which is super cool. And Tanya, and we already did your breakdown. So, Tim, our incarnation cross is all about the cross that we bear in life, like the purpose or the challenge that we come in for in this incarnation to overcome. Yours is all about navigating and balancing the pressures of life, all of them, not just any particular one, all of the pressures that you feel. So what that breaks down and looks like is, hey, whatever time you're feeling pressure, if it throws you off balance, your goal, or the very thing that your soul or consciousness wants, is to learn how to bring that back into balance. And a super simple technique, it's a mudra. Take your two hands, go like this. We're bringing the left part of our brain and the right part of our brain together. So when we do this, our energy can naturally flow. And for you, any channels that you have in your chart that are not completed, this will help that circuit complete. It'll give you that sense of feeling and wholeness. And in that feeling of wholeness, you can share it with Tanyana, because she has, in her chart, doesn't always have that sense of self within her, that sense of wholeness within her, where you do. So what that means is you have a strong sense of self. You know who you are deep inside. And Tanyana, part of your challenge or purpose in this lifetime is to discover that for yourself. And which tells me that's one of the things that probably drew you energetically together when you guys first met. Like, there's something about him, something about her. That channel was part of it, because intuitively you knew you wanted to bring that together because it completes the circuit. Tim, it allows you to go deeper, to take your sense of self deeper by giving the energies, that energy to Tanyana. So in a sense, we got a cup. And as you have that sense of self fill up your cup, when the cup gets too full, you can scoop some of that off over to Tanyana. And then you can keep going and filling that cup back up, which that experience is going to deepen your understanding of yourself. And the main thing that really stands out in your guys' connection chart is your mental processes. You both love to talk to each other. You love to have deep conversations with each other. And in that depth, you find so much intimacy and connection with each other. Like, I can't believe he gets me on such a deep level. No other guy has. I can't believe she gets me on such a deep level. No other woman has. And that playful banter that you guys have. I remember watching it was a while ago. I forget the reversed Uno card you guys were playing with.
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool, and just the energy you both were generating in that moment was phenomenal. So remember, it's the playfulness that brings out the kids in you that really want to play together. Surrender. So synthesis, the channel of synthesis, guys, helps you synthesize energy. So Taniana, this is your channel, which in that means, so when you get that sense of self, you're able to synthesize it and nurture it and compassion, and that really helps you to understand your own depth. So where you can, wow, where's this compassion coming from? Where's this, these really awesome feelings and things coming from? And that, my friend, is part of your purpose. When you do that and you share that with your audience in the world, it lights you up, helps you make the monies that you want to make, and gives you a sense of satisfaction and self that you may have been feeling like it was missing in life. And then the three channels you guys have together is the power channel, the brainwave channel, and the logic channel. So like I said, when you guys are together, like right now, your aura, I can feel just so much power, like just pure energy radiating off of you. I want to go hiking right now. And that's great. That's awesome. And that feels great. But it can also be kind of challenging to focus into something that's productive. And that's when the brainwave channel comes in. The brainwave, which is all about what I was just saying, how you guys, your intellectual banter with each other. That brainwave allows that pure raw power to actually think deeply about concepts that not only matter to you guys, but matter to the entire world. Like, I mean, full-heartedly mean it when I say if you two put your minds together, you could help solve world hunger. That is how much energy you guys have. And then the channel of logic. So in that channel of logic is like, hey, does this make sense? Does that make sense? You guys are able to just distinguish between the things that, oh wow, seems like a great use of our energy. This doesn't. And in that, you guys are able to take so much. Guys, can you please? Sorry, guys. Can you please? Or yeah, never mind. That's gone. So in that means that the logic circuit of our brain, when supplied with all of that power, if we don't allow it, if it's not allowed to overwhelm us and make all of that thinking and exhaust our brain, we can really focus and hone in on something that is truly beneficial collectively. Because from a soul perspective, you're both of your souls have incarnated into this earth, time, space continuum to do that. You both fundamentally want to impact the collective in some type of significant way. So, do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to add? Hold on. I can't hear you. Sorry, guys, we're having a little bit of audio technical difficulties. Give me 1 second here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So, if I understand this correctly, one of Tim's channels is to deal with the pressures of life, and one of my channels is to figure out who I am.
Yes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense,
Tim always says life ain't nothing but a bunch of pressure.
yes. So you love questions, and Tim has questions.
Oh, okay.
So in that, you're like, hey, just wondering, thinking, what I was thinking about today? Why do we have all right shoes? And like the questions themselves don't have to be deep and profound. In fact, it's better when they're light and fun and playful. Because during that mental banter of the light and fun and playfulness, the depth comes up naturally. Because that is just a natural symmetry or synergy between you two to pull that up from the depth. And as we become aware of that coming up from the depth, we can start to overthink and get confused and all of that. So by keeping it light and playful, that confusion no longer exists and everything becomes very clear. Does that make sense?
Yes. What colors is Tim's brand? Like colors that he should be wearing or more?
One second. Hmm. It's interesting that you asked me that. Guys, settle down a little bit, please. Tim, you really like harmony, don't you?
I try to. Don't do it.
Yeah. It depends.
Your colors, so what we're talking about is your profile, which Tim, your profile is that of a hermit opportunist. So the hermit has to go in within themselves. Guys, go play in the bedrooms. Keep it down until I'm done, please. Come on, guys, go do as I ask, please. Thank you. Anyway, your color, Tim, is green.
Thank you. That's all he has in his closet is green. I mean, we can show you his closet. There's nothing but green.
I only wear green. I
They
don't
call
wear
him
any
the
other.
Green Man.
So what is it about green that attracts you so much to it?
Well, I do it for different reasons. One, uh, my son used to always say green solves all your problems, and I do it in green for his memory. So I
Love
always
that.
wear green every day. So I actually had to wear a black shirt last week during our big little event me and her did, and it just felt weird.
But he had a green bandana in his pocket.
Yes, I had to have, yeah, and green socks.
I love that. And right there, dude, that's your intuitive awareness. Green. You need to wear green. Don't wear black. Black will be bad for you. And what I mean by that is dark colors absorb energy around us. So your whole being is about being in balance. When you absorb energy from other people that you're not wanting to, so like when you're just out and about and you pick up something from someone's aura, wearing dark colors absorbs that much faster and much more. Green reflects that. Lighter colors reflect that. And green is all about balance. So in your hermit mode, the hermit seeks balance. That's one of the reasons why the hermit goes within. It also tells me that during your younger years, you spend a lot of time going within yourself or self reflection. You spend a lot of time in that, and you still do. That's part of your nature, it's part of your genetic makeup, which is really fascinating. And turquoise, which is another shade of green, I believe, is your other color. So yeah, green is totally for you, man. And green is your opportunist or opportunist. So what that means is your profile, your purpose or intention in this lifetime is to see the opportunities that where things can be balanced. So say for example, in your guys' relationship, hey, this thing's been bothering me a little bit for a minute. It doesn't feel like there's symmetry or balance here. That needs to be brought back to balance. And that's not just with you know, with you and Tanyana, that's in anything, any area of your life. You are the one to point that out so that you can see, hey, there's no balance here. We need to fix that. And that's applying that a lot in your work life would be helpful. Going to anyone, hey, there's no balance right here. We can fix that. And you may not be able, may not be something that's immediately clear as to the thing that needs to happen in order to bring that into balance. But by just bringing that awareness and that energy to it, the solution then becomes conscious. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's so cool. So anytime that you need to feel balanced, green. Doesn't matter that it's even just looking at the color on your phone will give that feeling to you, which is so freaking cool to me. Love that.
Yeah.
So green really does solve all your problems.
I literally got that on my arm. It said
Yeah,
it says green solves all your problems on the whole across that.
dude, that's badass. You got some awesome sleeves. I love tats. You can't really probably see mine. I'll send a picture of it too, but it's a heart with snakes on it.
Hmm.
And you're right, because that balance, when things are in balance, that is when the solution appears. So when we think of anything that's unbalanced or any type of problem, if we are aware of the problem, we are aware of the solution, consciously or unconsciously. Because if we created the problem, we also created the solution. So in that sense, it's the dualistic nature. That's the nature of duality, or the Maya, or the energies that we live in. When we create whatever we create as opposite too. And when we're in balance, we can see the point or the trajectory that we want to travel in, such as the solution in the case of a problem. That's super awesome. Super awesome. And one of the things that's going to be beneficial for both of you together and in your own personal lives is having a space in your environment, in your home, for vulnerability.
Hmm.
So when I read this, the image that popped in my head is like maybe a little nook or something where you could even leave each other's notes if it's not something that you're immediately ready to talk about. And it doesn't have to pertain just to you two. Hey, I had this happen to me today. I'm not really ready to talk about it, but I just wanted to make you aware of it. And that way it creates space. Go ahead, Tanya. It
And
looks like you may
space
have a
is what
question.
you just created. Yeah, so we made a space on Facebook that has like these two chairs and a little desk where we can put those notes. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. And doing that, that's going to create for both of you your signature feeling. So the thing that you both want to feel at the end of the day, that to let you know that you used your energy properly, is satisfaction. Anytime that you're feeling frustrated, that's a clear indication that you're not using your energy properly, which is freaking love it. Reflective lighting, or I'm sorry, reflective listening. Tanyana, one of the things that you can say to Tim is, I hear you saying, and then repeat back what you heard. Because for Tim and his manifesting generator nature, it's immediate. I want the answer now. And that's just his nature, that's his makeup.
Yeah.
You may not be ready to give anything at that moment because you need a little bit of time to process. So just by saying, I hear you, this is what you said, but I need a moment. That way he feels seen, heard, and valued. And then he can hold that space so that you can do your process or go through your process, and then has the space to make sure you feel seen, heard, and valued.
If you think back, every time we've had moments, I'm always like, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm saying I like to. That's one thing always wanted. I want people to hear me. If they
Hmm.
don't hear me, I get very aggravated,
Hmm.
and it
And
irritates me
that, oh,
quickly.
go ahead. I totally get that. I'm a generator myself, and I often feel unheard. And anytime that happens, what it is that we're not using our energy properly. So when we go into a space, any space, and when we think of a space that we walk into, just standing up and walking 1 foot is entering a new space. Now we don't break things down like that because it's just not effective through our day. We walk from the car to the door, or but every step that we take we're entering a new space, and if we can continue with our aura flows into that space before we're physically there. So our aura goes, then we're here. Our aura, then here. Our aura, here. Anytime that happens, man, it's just that your energy and you didn't match. And what that looks like, for an example, is going into a business meeting or just meeting someone new for the first time, them not really recognizing you. Like, okay, I know, like, he's here, but I don't know what to do with all this energy that I'm feeling off of him. And when that happens to me, I don't feel safe. I don't feel heard. So when you go in, take a pause, because your energy is very dynamic and intense. And when you show up to do something, you show up with your whole self. Like, all of you is like, yep, I'm right here. Here's the energy. Let's go. Not everybody's like that. So in that sense, when we realize, hey, this other person may need something to slow down, or something, may need a moment to process before they're ready to engage with me. Knowing that and having that awareness, okay, well, I can just take a minute and let them do their process, and then I can re-engage, and that will allow you to feel seen and heard in anything that you do, whether it's talking to something about business, talking to Tanianis about something important in your guys' life, or going to the store and buying a soda. That is always going to be the most beneficial way for you guys to interact.
Mike, I have a question about human design.
Shoot.
Can it tell us where we should live, like other countries or places, or like locations that would be good for us?
Hold on one second. It's really freaking hard to hear you again. Could you repeat that, please? Can you repeat your question?
Go ahead and say. Oh, my question was, does human design ever tell us where's a good place to live or visit?
Oh,
Location.
absolutely. So those energetics are your environment. So your environment. Give me one second. Our environments are what naturally feeds us. So when we're in the wrong environment, it's going to be feeling very draining. When we're in the right environment, it feels very uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it so that we can then choose a place that's going to be best suited for the thing that's going to empower us versus drain us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can give me one moment, I can work this magic on the computer if it wants to communicate with me today. So this is really green spaces.
Green spaces. Like
So
Ireland?
Ireland would be the Emerald Isle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any place that feels balanced. So any place that feels green. So when you walk into a place, does this place feel green? Do I feel balanced? Do I feel like this could be a place where I could be open and vulnerable?
Mm-hmm.
And that will be your intuitive guide to the best place. Because honestly, the best place, regardless of any astrology, human design, any of it, is wherever you want to be.
Right.
And
Perception.
that right there is going to tell you whether or not that place is going to feed energy or drain energy.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is it's not, it's not always going to be all sunshines and roses. There's going to be times where, oh, this thing just feels like it's draining.
Yeah.
And then in that essence, I would say that in the environment, it's not in the environment, it's the way that you're engaging with the environment.
Yeah, sure.
So, with that, then the answer to your question specifically would be anywhere. Anywhere that you two can feel grounded, stable, balanced, and supported.
Yeah. Hmm.
And nature, whatever is around you or wherever you go, nature is a key theme for both of you. So, the city life, not so much.
Right.
The country life, yeah, absolutely, that would work. But there's also a balance in the flexibility for Tim specifically because you still need the independence. If you want to go out and do something, don't want to have to drive 2.5 hours to get there.
Mike, you know something cool is
Yeah.
that Tim's color is green, and this little dog, her name is Midori, and that means green in Japanese.
Oh, that is cool. How do you say it again?
Midori.
Midori?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Midori. Aw, he is so cute. That is super cool. Wow, green really is important for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that dog loves you.
I know, right?
I love that. That's so cool. Wow. Hi. Oh, okay. I'm done. I'm done on you now. So, Tim, did you have a question?
What was I asking about?
Oh, okay. So Tim often wears controversial shirts, like he has on today, and he said that he wears them because he doesn't feel heard.
So I was like, that might make sense. I don't feel heard, so I wear green shirts. But so a lot of times they're a little controversial.
So be controversial.
Huh?
So be controversial.
Yeah.
And like, we need that collectively. We need someone to come up and say, hey, this is something that I feel very strong about.
Hmm.
And in that controversy, it's not being rude, it's pointing something out. Prime
Right.
example.
Yeah.
What does your whole shirt say? Love it, dude. Love it. It's buried in my laundry, but I have a shirt of Christ, Jesus Christ, that says, "Yo, WFT." That's not what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, so and all of that, that's our own judgments. It's our judgments and expectations that really get in our way. Because
Hmm.
that shirt, you feel very comfortable wearing it. You feel comfortable in your skin and your body in the shirt, and it's right, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
Like the
I
whole,
feel that way. She doesn't feel that way sometimes.
I just don't want to go to a restaurant and then strike controversy and have spit in my food. That's all.
I understand the spit in the food thing. I get that.
I just want people to think.
Yeah, sure.
I get that too. So in that sense, then take a coat with you or a little hoodie or something. What if Tanyana is picking that feeling up? Put the shirt on, and that feeling within her will go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, understandable, and I would if it got. But usually, I'm just like, it's other people's problems, not his. I'm fine with it. I mean, I just don't want it to break anybody's heart. Like, like my mama, for instance. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to know your crowd. If I'm
You
gonna
have
go
to know
see
your
her,
audience.
if I'm gonna see her goes to her mom's house, I'm not gonna wear this.
Right.
Let's see, and right there, it just demonstrated the synthesis channel and the power channel. So energy came up, conceptualized thought, and solution was immediate. So in that, okay, we're going out to dinner, not a really big deal. Going over to mom's house, okay, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be a good son-in-law, and I'm going to make sure that my wife knows that I care. So
Oh,
I'm going to choose something that's going to be appropriate for the situation I'm going into.
Yeah. Well, I will say what the funniest part about this shirt was is we went to Louisville and we stayed at this. I forgot what the name
it
of.
was this really ritzy hotel,
Yeah.
and they had conventions going on.
Yeah, and it's a huge hotel, so it's very very big. and 85% of it was the convention, and the convention was the
Women in church convention.
yeah, it was a women's retreat from church, and I wore this shirt. And I didn't. That's the only shirt I had.
Yeah, and the irony, Mike, is because there's all he has is green shirts. He was like, pack me something quick, 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 and I'm just like grabbing shirts, and I was the one that packed that damn shirt.
That is hilarious, guys.
And the other ones were work shirts. I had paint all over it, so I'm like, I can't wear this in here. So that was funny part about it.
And you know, something really interesting about that when we look at creating our experience. So somebody else created that experience or the desire to have someone wear that or something that they're going to find offensive. You, well, hey, I'm all about that. I can do that for you. And as you wear that shirt, they're feeding both of you energy. So from that offense, even though it's labeled mentally as an offense, it's giving them energy. It's giving them something that they can respond to. They can stand up and say, ah, which is wasting the energy, but it's still giving the energy. In return, you're like, I don't care what you say. I'm still wearing the shirt,
Right.
Yeah.
And
which
there
is
was
what
a lot
gives
of
you
people
energy.
that came up to you and said, "Thanks for wearing that shirt," or "That made my day."
Huh? And see, that's so right there is a perfect example of the duality. That's the other side of the coin. Then there's people that are going, hey, I really appreciate you wearing that. Because
Yeah.
it's right. This whole country was founded on basic premise of separate church and state.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems sometimes, and just in my personal opinion, we forget that.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that is amazing. Huh? I love this. This is so cool. And in that, like, there is so much that we can do with this when that we can be. So just by being you and allowing yourself to take up the space so that you can feel heard.
Are
Sorry,
you
guys.
driving outside of his house right now?
Maybe.
That's what his truck did today. His muffler fell off.
Oh my. Huh.
It
Love
actually
those
sounds pretty
synchronicities.
good, to tell you the truth. I like it. She hates it, but I was like, this thing is loud.
That way you know they know you're coming,
Yes, she heard me probably about half a mile coming down the road.
right? I love that. That is hilarious, guys. Do you guys have any other questions? I want to be respectful of your time.
Do
You
you
said you only
have
had
any more
30 minutes.
questions, Tim?
No, the only question is this easy to be able to play back so I can watch it again?
Yes. Yep. It's going to be on my Facebook page, and as long as it's connected and working properly, it should be on YouTube. And then I'll send you guys the clip too.
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds great.
I'll post it too.
Awesome sauce.
There's a few things I want to like give like a little short meme or what do you want to call it? Is when you're talking about I need to give her like time to process because I am a
Yeah, yeah.
get it done
And I'm
thing.
very literal. I'm very, very literal person. So like the other day, for instance, I was I was talking about how much I dreaded an event coming up. And Tim says, "Well, what time is it?" And I said, "Look at the dashboard. The time's right there." And he was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "Your literal stuff, like Amelia Bedelia, drives me up the wall." And it's like,
I was like, what time's your event? Not right now. I don't care what time it is right now.
yeah.
But no,
And
that makes sense to me that like when you said that she needs time to process, and she's told me this, but maybe it's good sometimes to hear from somebody else when they say,
Mhm.
"Hey, she needs time to process this, and you need to like slow down, give her a second."
This is good couples counseling, Mike. Good job.
Yeah, we should play
thanks.
Uno tonight.
Oh no, we're not gonna play Uno ever.
Hey, try Monopoly, guys. Then come back and talk to me. Oh, I love that.
We're too competitive.
Right.
We're very competitive with each other, so especially with board games and stuff like
It
that.
could be
so-
anything like catching leaves. Like I caught 45, you caught only 13, loser.
And that is your guys' basic whole. That's how your auras play together.
hmm
So that's your whole dynamic. The whole relationship is going to be based on that, and it's all like soul wise from a soul perspective. It looks like, yeah, we're battling each other, we're being competitive, but it's not. It's you're both pushing each other to grow. I
That's
got
true.
45 this
That
time.
is so true.
True. I try to push you.
I'm gonna get more next time.
Yeah. No, don't try to push me any harder. I'll get there.
All right.
Give me time to process.
And, Tim, dude, you're very intuitive. Gotta get a sense that you're aware of that. One of the things that you can do is ask yourself, get calm, centered. Hey, does Tanyana need space right now? And I promise you, your connection to her, you'll get an immediate, clear answer. And then you'll know intuitively whether she does or not. And if she does, okay, hey, it feels like you just need some space right now. Or some time. I'm gonna go read a book or give you that space. And if it doesn't, hey, I'm right here. Let's go. And that will really help her energetic wise, especially if she's had like a long day with clients or anything. Because if you're not familiar, man, when doing readings and the type of work that we do, we pick up our client's energy. So we like it's like a coat that we get on. And if say for instance, if I myself do more than 5 people a day, I feel like I'm drowning in all this shit, and I need time to process and get everything off of me.
Yeah.
Whereas you could handle probably about 10 or 12. You have the energy for it.
Yeah.
And then
I,
at the
I do medium readings every once in a while. Not as much as I used to,
mm,
but I try not to do them too many just because it is overwhelming, even doing one or two now. So
Mm.
can be. And guys, one of the best things that I've found for my own aura is a salt bath and Epsom salts.
I'm soaking my feet in Epsom salt right now.
Yeah, love that.
Hmm.
And
which funny thing is, because I always think it's sort of funny because most people say, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna go home, put a bath on, listen to some Celine Dion
yeah,
with
you
some
know,
candles."
I'm
It
an
has
old
helped
metal.
towards the soul. So it's funny you said that.
That is funny. And one of my friends was asked, text me the other day, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking a relaxing bath, listen to some heavy metal." And they're like, "That's relaxing." I was like, "It is for me. Probably not for you, but it is for me."
Yes, and I also listen to a lot of heavy metal, and it's to me it's very relaxing.
Right? See?
Yeah. So I was kidding about Celine Dion thing, but it's usually you know
I read to you when you're in the bath.
yes, and she reads to me while I'm in the bath.
Yeah.
So
That is
it's
awesome.
still a fun little thing.
Yeah. And that's a great way to create intimacy.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I like that. And collectively, overall, you guys' chart is you're going to have challenges, but those challenges you create from a soul level to expand your own consciousness. And as you guys play that game, you both climb higher and higher and higher, which ultimately feeds your very soul, the very essence of you. And then just simply remember, Tanyana, be a little bit more open to his ideas. Especially, he's clearly demonstrated to you his ability to effectively be, the man and be the leader, the masculine of the relationship. And then Tim, just be open and give her space, and be open to hear what she has, so that you can get that back. Because ultimately, we can only give the energy that we get. If it's confusing or feels like it's unheard, that's the only energy we're going to have to get back.
Hmm.
Wow, that was really cool.
Mike, something you should know is that I'm a Libra and he's an Aries, but we both have Scorpio rising, so our houses are the same. So we
Yeah.
have a shared mission and purpose.
And I noticed when we were talking about doing something big for the collective, like solving world hunger, you both lit right up very much.
Hmm.
Oh, and something, I'll send you the link when we get done. Have you guys ever heard of Mark Rono?
No.
So he is this dude who had a divine revelation. He created a new type of mathematics called vortex-based mathematics. And what it is he mapped out how energy manifests from the ethers, how energy magically manifests or is made real. And that mathematics right now is currently being applied to end world hunger.
Wow. I know
Uh,
what our world hunger would be. Can you, do you know? I know what it is.
Yeah, I think so. But
I would say you like if we had millions of dollars, we would probably put that money behind euthanasia. And I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, people to die with some integrity, instead of being drawn out like rituals.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
And that would be so cool and needed.
Mhm.
So, in that, the two of you, I am telling you, you have the power to manifest or make that real.
Mhm.
And it evolves, or your blockages or the roadblocks in there, if we were to call them that, are your judgments and expectations. When you can let those go of how this experience should unfold, you allow spirit, source, to work its magic. And in that, mm, I don't know, but I would love to see that because that right there, it tastes so amazing to me. Oh, and Tim, if you're not aware that our cognition, or I'm sorry, our intuition is directly tied to one of our senses. Mine is taste. Huh? I can't believe I didn't go over that. Give me 1 second.
Mine smell.
Your eyes.
I think I know. I want to guess when you're ready, Mike. I want to guess.
Go ahead. What do you think, Tatiana?
I think it's touch.
That. Let's see here.
No?
The cognition.
Mm.
Hmm, that's interesting. Tim, when you close your eyes, do you see images?
yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
Your cognition is inner vision. So, in that sense, you are a seer. You can see the unseen. By learning how to work with that inner sense and your intuition, you'll open up a lot of, dude, you'll just open up a lot of doorways. And it can be challenging. I too, well, my cognition is taste, but I have that sense as well. And it can be challenging at times to understand them. But one of the best things that I've learned is to simply just observe them. That's all we got to do. Well, that's what I see. The other day I was walking by and I seen someone's aura that was very bright and all lit up. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty. That's cool. And there was a little tiny speck of black or dark in it. And I started going, oh, I wonder what that is. And I was going to go up and talk to him to see if I could figure it out. But I was like, you know what? I don't really need that. I just needed to be aware that, hey, there's the aura. And I can just appreciate that whatever that little spot was will take care of itself.
Mhm.
Don't need to add energy to it.
Yes.
So, in that sense, childlike playfulness. Oh, and I want to tell you guys this. I had this the other day. My intuition or my chakra system, if I want to go down into my chakras, I envision, this image just came to me. I was in my head, just standing there like top of a slide, and I slid all the way down into my heart chakra. And it was like riding a water slide down. And then when I got to the chakra, it was like I went in a spiral circle going in. And then when I did that, I seen the four chambers of the heart. In shamanism, they say we have the sorrow chamber, the chamber of joy, the chamber of well being, and the chamber of treasure. So when we go into those different four chambers, just like the heart itself, Scott, the physical part, it's got 4 chambers. Energetically, it does too. So I don't know. I feel like that would be an interesting experiment you guys could play with. It'd be something fun to do. Very cool.
Well, thank you so much for this, Mike. I think that we got a lot to take away from it.
Very cool. You guys are more than welcome. I'm happy to do it, and thanks for coming on. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for taking your time.
Oh, no problem, man. And Tim, dude, it was super nice to actually formally finally meet you. Oh, guys, we tried a similar thing a while ago, and it just wasn't working. Technology was not our friend that day. But it's awesome, guys, and I'll have that clips over to you guys probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.